Howdy folks, welcome to episode 14. Today we're going to do some decoration and work on the base and that kind of stuff. And so in organizing everything, I put in a new cargo box. I put all this stuff here, all the ship parts and everything, the building parts. And I've got a couple pulse lasers and railguns, and I figured I might put the railguns on the ship, on the small vessel. And so I've got other miscellaneous stuff over here and a bunch of my adventure equipment over here. And I didn't name those yet. But yeah, so we're going to see what we can do as far as like painting this and stuff. But let me see where we can put these railguns on here. And okay, so I think we can just sit them. Can we just sit them off to the side? Or yeah, I think we might do that and then basically make this a wider ship or something like that. Or we could sit them here. I think that's actually a good spot for them. So let's do this. We'll put them above the thrusters here. It's right above the thruster. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, that seems to work. So I've got, let me see if I can actually paint that thing now. Let me see if they fixed it. And yeah, they fixed the spotlight so you can paint them now. Cool. And we can paint that and that. And so yeah, I want to get the floor painted up and stuff. And I wanted to see what kind of textures we have as far as like what might look good on the floor. And I don't know if that's going to work or not. Let me see. Let's see if maybe this will clean up better in black. No, not really. Okay. And the walls. I want to do the walls. And so let me see. I think we're going to try this on the lowest level. So let's do the whole block. We're going to like ring around the whole thing. And let me do this too, since this will be faster moving, and I also won't use up so much of my stamina and food, I mean, doing that. Okay, so we're going to do that on that part, and then I need to get these corners too. We'll get this corner, and then I need to figure out what I want to do for the upper part. But as you see, even just doing this, it separates that out and makes it look a little bit nicer. And so let me see what we can do around the bottom here. Maybe we can do something like this. I don't know if I want the whole block like that. Let's see if we can just do this. And yeah, actually, let me apply the whole block, and we'll do this, and then because we're going to come back around and do the front anyway. So we'll get these painted. Whoops. And that's okay. And like this. Whoops. So yeah, I want like a lit up ring around the outside of the base, so as you're coming, you're approaching at night and stuff, it looks cool. And we can maybe even do this to these edges, I think. And I'm not going to paint those like that. We're just going to do these, and we'll see how these look, and that's interesting. And so this is why, as you see here, this is why you want to not have your blocks rotated the wrong way. And let's see if I'm going to need to do this. And is that the right way? Yeah, it's like that. So I'm going to need to go like that, that, and that. And I'm not sure if that one's going to need rotating or not, but let's try it. And let's paint this. We'll see. And okay, a couple of them didn't need it, so I can rotate those back. Go like this, and we'll go like that. Okay. And so let me see. I want to paint those in something other than that too. So we'll get a color on here. Let's see what kind of color we can get. Maybe this. Yeah, I kind of like that, the evergreen. So we'll see how that looks as we get this around here. And I suppose I can even take these blocks off since they're not needed. Correct? Yeah, those are not needed. All right, and we can paint these. See, get those. And then we can do, not the minigun, but we'll get these going around here. We get the whole perimeter. And whoops, I need to get this side too, don't I? But yeah, this is why I reset. This is why you want to reset your blocks before you place them, unless you have a specific orientation you want. Because when you go to paint them, the textures will misalign and stuff. And then we can do something on this. Let's see what we can do for these. Maybe this. And I want it to be kind of dark. So let's see. Let's get like a dark green here. I don't know. I kind of want it look. I wanted it to look kind of menacing to the wildlife when you're at ground level. But if you look at it from here, I mean, when you're flying in a ship, you're not even going to see that. So I guess it's not that big of a deal. You could probably even do this. That actually looks kind of cool. Let me see. Let me try this. If it'll let me paint them. Let me see. Because I know it probably kind of will look obnoxious from this level, but let's get it painted and we'll see what it looks like from up above. Let's see. We'll do red here. And like I said, I want it to be intimidating to the, you know what I mean, to look like an anti-wildlife fence. So let's go up here and see how that looks. And apparently it painted the whole thing there. But yeah, because see, when you're flying in, it's not going to be that bad, and it's not going to be, yeah, I don't think it's going to be that horrible. So let me do this. I'm not sure why it painted both sides of these particular blocks. It's kind of weird. Okay, so let's get these, and actually we can probably do those in green too. We'll do our dark green. So let's get our dark green here. Come on. It just does not want to paint this face, does it? Huh. Or is that the green? Oh, I guess that is the green. Okay, so I need to decide on a texture for that too. And maybe this. Whoops. Maybe this one. I think that one's okay. Yeah, because I want it to be pretty drab. So we'll get this around here. All the way around. And then I've got to figure out what I want to do for the floor too in here, the hangar floor. So, but we're going to get one piece at a time. And so we'll do this, and we'll get the green on here. And see how that looks. And I think I'm going to probably do this dark green for most of the base color, for the main color, and then we're going to highlight the dark green stuff with other stuff. So let's go back here quickly and grab this texture. Here we go. Like that. And we'll see what we can put on the sides here. Maybe this. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if this dark green. No, it still doesn't work. Okay, let's do apply to whole block. And is there any of these? What about the metal textures? Maybe this one? What about... Actually, yeah, I like that. I like that one. Let's try this. And we'll see. We'll do one side like this, and we'll see how it looks. So let's get this. Let me get this painted up. And we'll see if it works. Whoops. I knew I was going to miss. So one thing with this drone, it does a little overshoot, and you tend to miss sometimes, but that's okay. And we'll get these blocks here. And whoops. And as you see here, I don't have any armor on or anything either, so it's nice to remember that once you've got your base oxygenated, you probably want to do that just to save on food and stuff. You don't use so much food and oxygen and everything when you're walking around in your pajamas or whatever. So let's get this side going. I could probably even put some trim along it or whatever, like paint the corners a different color, but we'll get this going. Is this not... I wanted to do apply to whole block. Okay, let's do this. We'll get all these. Come on. And we'll get all these. And we'll get everything on here. There we go. And it's driving me nuts that you can't hear it too. It's kind of obnoxious that you can't hear when the paint is going. That was one nice thing about the old, before they put in this paint gun. was that it made a more obvious sound that something was changed. But let's see if we missed anything on the inside here. And yep, we did. We missed a couple. And so what we can do is we can try to get some kind of highlight on this. So let's try this. And we'll see, maybe that's a little bit too light. I don't know if that's a little bit too light. Let's try this one. See how this one looks. And that might look a little bit better. Okay, and then the question is, do I do that or the door? I think we'll do this. We'll do this. And then I also want to get some texture on this. We'll do something that's lit, one of these two. Let's try this one. And not apply to whole block. We'll do this. Maybe. Maybe we'll see if this works. And are these going in different directions? Yes, they are. Okay, so we'll turn this one. And is that the same now? Is that aligned? It looks like it. It doesn't look like it's misaligned. Okay, because there's two. Sometimes these look different depending on which direction, and the block being in there kind of messes me up. Let's see. I don't know. I can't tell a difference there. Somebody else is going to tell me that that it looks horrible. And if so, I will fix it. But let's see. We'll try this. Whoops. I didn't want to do whole block. Let's do this and this. These are our force field generators, and that's why that's why the oxygen cannot get out, cannot escape, because these are our force field generators. You see? And I could even put those on the top and bottom, so let's do that. Let's put those on the top and bottom, like that, and like that, and we'll paint these. And we'll go, I wanted those to be light green, like that and that. And yeah, I think that works pretty well. And so let me get this one finished up too. And we will get this side too. Okay, so we've got both of these sides done, and we've got the ring around here. That looks kind of cool, and I missed something here. Let me fix that, and we'll put this back to the, let's see, the default here. Whoops, not that side, this side. This side? Can I not hit this? Come on. That's obnoxious. Okay, so let's do apply to whole block. Let's try this. There we go. And now I gotta fix this. Okay, we gotta do that and that. Whoops, and I just did apply to whole block again, didn't I? Okay, let's take off the apply to whole block, and let's see if we can do this right. There's that, and there's that. There we go. Okay, so let me make sure I've got the other side. The other sides, I didn't do red on these sides either. Okay, so let me get these painted up too. And let's see, do these. These are tricky. You got to hit them in just the right spot for some reason, like right down here. And I'm not sure when they did that, or if I just haven't been painting these blocks for a long time or what. But I don't remember these blocks being like that. And it's probably has to do with, they did some change to the collision. And I think they changed some colliders and stuff like that in order to try to fix the critters and stuff coming through, the bad guys coming through the walls. So let's get this on here. So I'm wondering if that's what did this to where it's hard to paint. And I forget, there was something else that they did with the colliders too. But let's get this like that. And why is it painting this whole thing red? That's weird. Okay. And those are actually supposed to be this texture. Let's do that. And we'll get these up here too. Yeah, it's, some of them, I think it's just going through. It's going through and hitting the other side or something. That is weird. Okay. And let's make sure that actually fits. And great, I got 2 more of those too. Alright, I will fix those later, I think. And so let's see, we can get this back side done up here too. And so what I need to do is I need to get some blocks. Where are my blocks? And let's try this. Here we go. Here's our concrete blocks. So we're going to get some of these, and we're going to put these. Let's see. This stuff is, let's see what our structural integrity looks like here. Yeah, I think we're good on this. So what I want to do is I want to punch out some walls here. So let's do this, and let's do apply to whole block. And we're going to punch out, what was this, 2 spaces? 2 block space and then a thing. So 2 block space and then a window, 2 wide. And this is a 2 block space and then a window 2 wide. And so we're not going to have room for, and that goes down 1 more too. We're not going to have room for another window, are we? Unless we do just a 1 wide. Like that. Are these 5 tall? Yeah, they're 5 tall. Okay. Whoops. Want to do these. Yeah, so I could either make these 3 wide, or I could leave that empty, or I could just put in a thin window there. I'm not sure what I would put for that window that's actually going to match with everything else, though, is the trick. Right? So let's see. Let's see if we can do that. And we're going to put in, let's see, we're going to put in blocks here, like this. And we're going to put blocks like this. There we go. And yeah, I'm not sure whether, let me just try it and I'll see what I can get in there that might look nice. But yeah, we're going to cover that up so that we can punch out these blocks. So let's get rid of these. And then we can put in our windows. Let's do a remove here. And we'll probably be getting a drone attack coming up soon too. We'll see about that. And we'll see what kind of, because yeah, I'm not even wearing armor, so if I were to punch out the the wrong block here, oh, I'm out of charges. Or I'm out of ammo. Gotta reload. But yeah, if I were to punch out the wrong block, I'd start suffocating. So yeah, it's probably not a good plan to do that. And let's make sure, let's get that one there. Okay. And let's see. So I want to do this style on these at least. So let's get these in. And that was like this. And was it like that? Yeah. Okay. So it's like this. And whoops, I'm hitting the wrong key. And that. And then we're going to go down 1. And it's going to be that. And I got to take this out. And that. And then we're going to go like that. And yeah, keep hitting the wrong keys. And whoops, and that. I'll get rid of that before I forget. And now we're going to go here. So we'll go these 2 on the bottom. And then we'll spin, we'll not spin them yet, we'll do these. And then we can spin them around like that and that. And then we can spin, not spin, we can put these up here. And then we can put that there and that there. Okay, and now I just want to see if there's anything that would look decent, that would look like it might fit in the middle. I don't know, because that's not really gonna, help, is it? I don't think there's anything that I can do that's going to be symmetrical on that is the problem. So, because it's either going to, yeah, it's going to do weird things. So, let me see. I don't know if I could even put something like that, but then it's not going to match everything else. So, yeah, I don't know. This wall is going to drive me nuts now. Because I had to make it a different width. Actually, let me just do this, and we'll put this back. We'll put these cubes back here, and let me reset them, because you saw what happens when you have them rotated. And there we go. And we'll put these back. And now we should be able to remove these without losing our oxygen. There we go. Because we have force fields, remember? There's force fields in here. Those of you who are like, who go nuts over that. And, okay. So we'll get the rest of these taken out, and then I can, did I not paint this side? I think this side got screwed up in the same way. So let me get these textures fixed on here too. And we'll see. Not apply to the whole block. Okay, let's try this. Whoops. Not like that. Yeah, it's just certain ones that it hits. It's weird. Yeah, it's like it's hitting it, it's colliding with it from the other side, like it's hitting the back face or something. Let's see. We can paint that green. We'll make sure we didn't hit anything in the bottom there. Okay, and then we can get this face back. And where was that? That was this one. And so yeah, let me get this wall painted up real quickly here. Alright, so we've got this side painted up, and actually I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty decent, and we need to figure out what we want to do for the ceiling. And so let's try some, I don't know if we want to do metal plates like this. That might look okay. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do metal plates, this sort of metal plate thing, or maybe some more of the brick or stone type. Let's see. There's this. I'm not sure if this will fit in or if this will look weird. So let's try it. Let me try it, and we'll see what it looks like from the outside and from the inside. And let's see if it's any good or if it just looks stupid. So let me get this on here, and I don't think you can change the color of this either. So I'm just going to be stuck with this color. And because some of these bricks and stuff, you can't really change the, you can't repaint the color, it's just the texture. And I don't know if they're ever going to change that, or if that's something that they just haven't gotten around to, or what. But let's see what we can do for these. We're going to have to figure out what we can do with the other things. But let me get these while I'm up here. Let's get this. What is this? Dark green. And we'll go back to here. And we'll get these fixed. That was this. Yeah. Okay, and you know what? I just painted those faces. I didn't do the whole block, did I? Okay, so it's not on the inside. Nope, I didn't get the inside. So let me do that too. Let's see. You get this inside. Okay, so I've got that painted, and let me get this fixed again. You see, we'll do that. Okay, and that doesn't seem to look too bad. It looks like a roof, and I just need to get the floor in there, and I do need to put some lights up there or something too, because it looks really, or maybe get some of this texture. Let me see. Let me do this. We'll do, this is the only light texture we have, so we'll do this and apply, no, not apply to whole block. Well, there we go, like this. We might even leave that bright white like this, the default. And so we need to figure out what we're going to do with the turret stands too. What kind of decoration we can put on them. But we'll see if we can get them to look nice. And this one too. I think this is kind of cool. So let's see if we can do something like this, and then we can maybe do this. There we go. And that, and then we can put, let's see, because these I think we do want them to be metal, so let's try this. Yeah, that looks good. I think that looks good, and I'll probably do, I might even leave them in white, but we'll see. Maybe leave this one in white and put the other one a different color. Let's see. Let's do white here, and let's do, there's the drones. Okay, there's the drone attack. Been waiting for that. Figured that would be happening sometime soon, and we'll see if we can get these painted before the drones show up. Although I'm sure my turrets will tell me before I even notice. Okay, and we'll get this one back like that. That looks okay. I don't think that looks too bad. And let's see what we can do with these. I think we can follow the same kind of theme on these. We'll do this and this and maybe make these like green or something. And do that, that. And yeah, I think we're going to make these green. So let me actually apply to whole block, and we'll do this. There we go. Just so I can get all of it. And I'm not going to be able to get that one in the middle, am I? Okay, so let's go back to that, and we'll do this. 3 and 4. And then we'll try to paint these whole things dark green, maybe. Maybe we'll do a medium green. I'm not sure. Maybe that lighter, this lighter green here. We'll see if that works a little bit better. I think that works a little bit better. Then it stands out and it highlights the corners and stuff. So it's weird that it's that one side is way brighter. Okay, so I'm going to try to get the rest of those like that, and we'll see if we can get the drones to come out sometime. See if we get the drones to show up. There they are. Let's see. There they are. There's the drones. There they go. And they're very loud today. This one's nice, nice. All right, so let's get let's see what we can do with this floor. Let's see what kind of things we have. There's this. I don't know if that works, but let me see what else. I don't know if these, I think this would be too, this looks too, yeah, it's too shiny. I don't want shiny, and that's, yeah. Does that paint at all? Let me see. No, it's just, it still stays white. Okay, so we'll do this. Let's see how these look in a darker color. Yeah, I think that works. I think that works, the black. So I'm going to paint this floor in black. Let's get all this. I really should get out there and grab those drones. Whoops. And loot those drones. Let me see. Is this on? Nope, it's not on apply to whole block. I really should get out there and grab those drones, but I don't feel like it right now because I'd have to go put my armor on. And I'm not sure if you can even... Let me see. Can you access the armor locker and like change your armor from here? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do it then. All right, let's take the ship out and let's go. Whoa, I'm hitting the wrong keys. I keep moving my hand. My hand is over by one key. Let's go do this and we'll grab these. Go loot these guys. Look how they start tumbling again when you get close enough. Okay, so we'll do this. F5, and there we go. And that was weird. Huh. Wonder why I landed on the... Stop doing that. I keep moving my hand wrong back to the wrong position. Yeah. I'm just gonna loot these 3, and then we can be on our way. Come on. I'm totally hitting the wrong keys. Whoops. See? And here we go. And we'll grab this one. And we should be able to, yep, get his stuff. Alright, there we go. Cool. So yeah, they gave us our free delivery of stuff. And I also wanted to get out in the ship just to get a more distant view of the base and see how it looks. Yeah, that looks okay. I think that looks okay. So I'm going to finish off painting the rest of the inside here. Let me finish off the rest of the floor, and we'll see how that goes. Let me park over here. Just do this. And we'll put our armor back and put that back in the locker. Here we go. Okay. And that. Escape. There we go. Alright, so let's get back to painting this. Let me paint all this floor, and we'll see how it looks when it's all solid. I just don't want to hit my hovercraft and paint it the wrong color. And I need something with this too. Let me see. I don't know if... Is that going to work? Did it matches that? Let's see. Not that. This. There we go. Okay. Why is that one turned? That one's turned. Or those ones are turned. Something's turned. That's weird. Okay, that's just obnoxious. Alright, let's see if we can turn this. Is it like that? That, and that. There we go. Okay. Let's see. That looks okay. And we'll get the last of these. Whoops. And I need to move the hovercraft too, don't I? Let me move the hovercraft. Let me get these painted. Let me get this half painted in black first before I do that. And we'll see how well that fits in, matches into, and hides the ventilator, that is. I might have to put something over the top of the ventilator just to hide it better, but we'll see how that looks. And I think that's going to look okay for a landing bay. And we'll get this over here, and then we'll go like this. Move this guy over here. Oops, I hit reload instead of, yep, like I said, I'm hitting all the wrong keys. And there we go. And now we can do this. I need the nubs back on my keys or something, because I'm like off by one every time. Every time I go to sit my hand on the key. Here. Let's do this, and we'll get these painted in. There's a piece of grass under there that's going to drive me nuts too, because it's sticking through. That must be why the stuff broke when it when I yeah, when I removed when I put that block up there. That must be what that problem was. Okay, is that the whole block? Yeah. There we go. I didn't want to do that. Okay, so let's do this. We'll get these back. There we go. Okay, and so yeah, I like that. I like that look. It looks nice and clean. And that is the upstairs. And let me see quickly what I can do with the downstairs. But let me get this. Do I have a jetpack? I don't have a jetpack at all. Okay, let's see if I can get up on this block. Yeah, I can. So we're going to do this. And we're going to come back in. If I can if I can go forward instead of twisting. Go. There we go. All right. And we can sit this down. Excellent. Okay. And apparently it didn't even take any damage. Cool. From my horrible flying. All right. And yeah, that looks like the main floor, whatever, the outdoors. And one other thing is they added in latest incarnation. Let me see where they are. Yeah, they added in growing plots that use concrete, and wood. And unfortunately, I don't have the fiber to make them, and I don't know that there's fiber on Ningas even. I don't know if there's even any fiber anywhere on the planet, or if there's anything that drops it. So I guess I would have to get some as a drop and get lucky, or whatever. Maybe I could make fiber out of, let's see, is there the plants? Let me see. Aloe vera, because you can make, yeah, 4 plant fibers. So if I take that apart, I should get enough to make the sprouts, and I could do that. But I think I'm just going to wait. I'm not in like some desperate need of food or anything right now. So I'm not like lagging behind with the garden anyway. So I'm not even going to bother with that for the moment. But yeah, you can make those with wood and concrete now instead of just plastic. So I guess that's the solution to the problem people were having, that they couldn't build a bunch of those on planets that they had just started on or whatever. But let's see what we can get for a floor in here. And here's where I wanted to do this. And I might even move the core. I don't know that I want to move the core now. But yeah, let's do this for the floor, and we'll see how it looks. I might even take those out and put in stairs, maybe. And let's see how we can get this to look. Get these corners in here. And okay, and there we go. I don't know, maybe that's a little too bright, you think? Let's try this. Or maybe even a shade lighter. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. And I could even checker it with dark and light checkers or something too. But we'll see how this looks. Whoops. And I can even get this stuff painted. I want to do like my greens and stuff. And there we go. And I can do some other colors for that. But we'll do this. And actually that kind of looks good. I like that. And maybe do a different color. Maybe let's do a different texture for that. Whoops. Let's do a different texture for this. Let's see. What is our... like that. I think that works better. I think that looks better. That makes more sense instead of having an angled marble floor. And then let's see what we can do for the walls. And maybe something like this along the top and over there and back. Can we hit that? Yep. And behind there, can we hit it? Let's see. See if we can hit it. There we go. All right. And maybe this. And we can get these painted up like this. And let's see what we can do on the lower level. Maybe even this again. And yeah, it's not going to be this bright white. So don't worry. And we'll see if I can reach this. There we go. And that one there. Can I reach it? Can I reach it? Can I get it? Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, so let's see if we can get it to be green now. I think we're gonna do our dark green, maybe. See how that looks. If it's too dark, maybe we can lighten it up just a little bit. We'll see. I wish they had more shades of stuff, but we'll see. That doesn't look too shabby. And then we can maybe do this and put the lighter green on the bottom level here. Let's see. And I can get that one later. That doesn't look too bad. That's not horrible. And we can even do this. And I need to get that one there. There we go. And yeah, I kind of like that. And I need to paint this. There we go. There's our core. Cool. And then we can get the ceiling. Let's see what kind of ceiling tiles we have. Let's see. We don't want to do whole block. Maybe something like this. Like that. Is it going to let me paint that block? I don't think it's going to let me get that block, is it? Even on the corner. There it is. Okay. And then we can get these. Let me see. We can get these like this. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we'll see. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that one in the back corner right now, but let's get these colored up too. Let's see, let's do our dark green, and let's see if we can get that one again. Come on, there we go, like that. Nice. And maybe do a different green for these. And I need the ceiling in here too. What should I do for the ceiling? Let's do ceiling tiles. They don't have much in the way of ceiling tiles, do they? Let's see. We could do something like this. Yeah, that works. Okay, so we'll get this painted in. Whoops. And hopefully I'm not applying that the whole block, right? So I'm not painting like the upstairs, because I'm not sure which of these are one block or 2 blocks thick. I don't remember where that ended. But yeah, we'll get this ceiling painted up here. Come on. There we go. Nice. And like that. I could even put these for this little bay, but I kind of like how that bay is different there. And get the rest of these too. And I kind of like that in the white. I think it looks okay. And I'm not sure if those doors, if I want to do something with those doors, but let's get some vents on here like that, or maybe even these, so we can see when we're in here. How about that? Like that. And we're gonna paint these, and like not the whole block. There we go. Okay, and apparently those are rotated. Huh. Is that one visible from the outside? I don't think that one's visible from the outside. No, it's not. Okay, so I can rotate those. Let me do that just so that they make sense. So we'll rotate this on this axis like that. And we'll rotate this one. There we go. And then I just need to fix this up. So we'll do this and paint it black. And yeah, I think that is, I still have to do the other bay, but I think I'll do that either off camera or we'll do that in another episode. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for episode 14. And I think we've got everything the way I want to look, the way I want it to look. And there's a couple more things, little touch-ups and stuff I'll need to do to get it finished. But yeah, that's going to be it for episode 14, and join me in episode 15, where I think we're going to take our hovercraft over and we're going to attack the drone base and see how far we can. I think we should be able to just get through the drone base. So yeah, join me in episode 15, and we will see you then. Later.